There it is. Hey everyone, we're live. Welcome into the Flippin Hippos YouTube channel. I am Star the Flippin Hippo, and today is a day. So I gotta check real quick. Anyone else having trouble keeping track of their days anymore? It feels like it's still March 58th, but it's April 7th. It's a Tuesday. It's Tuesday. I know that because I'm live. And here comes the train. But anyways, guys, welcome in. It is Tuesday, April 7th. Just barely starting the fourth month of the year that feels like it's already been a decade. We'll just kind of fiddle fart around for a couple minutes while we wait for some folks to come in before we get into the meat of the topic. I do have my list, like I always do, with my notes. I got my water here, so when I start to get my vocal fry and my dry throat, I can get drinks. See, what tune am I singing that to? Because I can't place it in my head. Foo-foo. Last night I was singing Little Bunny Foo-foo to my hamster. Hey Don, welcome in. Welcome in Pete. Welcome in. Hi Ivy and Beth. Welcome in everybody. If I seem weird, it's because I'm going a little crazy. I'm sure everyone is. This is the first time I have worn makeup in a week. Yep, it's getting serious up in here. Oh, it opened. Our star's going. Okay, I got it. Great, good song. Hey Rhonda, welcome in. I'm just fiddle farting around and being a goofball right now. I'm so excited to talk to people that aren't Keith or my hamster. Everyone's going a little stir crazy. I hope everyone's keeping busy, finding things to do, and that's kind of what we're going to talk about tonight. The Lila's Village, Corrine, everyone's here? Not everyone. If everyone was here, everyone would be here. This isn't everybody. Rhonda and Amelia, welcome in, ladies. David and Bill are here, guys. That's Noman the Frog with the wrench there. Two of my bestest buddies in the whole world and my mod. Say hi to them. Colleen's here. Another one of my really good friends. Welcome in. Glad to see you guys here. Pete says, I can't stop baking. Yeah, I'm doing some stuff I don't normally do. And actually, we have to go for groceries tomorrow because we actually need food. And I put flour and baking soda and some other stuff on the list. And I'm like, who the heck am I turning into? Rhonda Hasley. Heather says I made a live the positive of being locked in. And Amy's here. Hi, welcome in. So there's a lot of things that we can be doing right now, like Heather says, that we can make this a positive experience. And for many of us that have been doing this full time for a while now, like me, my life really isn't that different. It's just different because I know it's different. Prior to the current situation, I worked from home for 2.5-3 years doing this with Keith. He was part-time. He only left his job and started full-time with me on March 1st of this year, a couple weeks before it all went haywire. But I worked from home for a very long time and left the house once a day to go to the post office and a couple times a week to run errands or go out to eat once in a while. So my life really isn't that different because, let's be honest, I was a recluse and a hermit long before this, and I was perfectly okay with doing all my errands one day of the week, so I only had to leave the house once. And if I had been given my druthers, sorry, that's the term my grandmother used to use, if I given my druthers, if you asked me if I would rather go to a restaurant or get takeout, I almost always would have preferred takeout food in a red box versus going to the theater or going to a restaurant. But now that I'm being told I can't go, now I want to go. It's that whole mentality of if you're being told you shouldn't or can't do something, even when you're an adult like me, it triggers something in you like a child. Like, well, now I want to. So my life really is not different. It's just that we used to go visit his family once a week, and sometimes we went out to dinner. And I know I'm not supposed to go anywhere, and I think it's gnawing at me. And then, of course, beyond that, all of the news and everything going on, it is a lot to take in. It's a lot to take in, everything that's going on. And depending on where you live and how close to the epicenter you are and stuff like that is how much it's really going to impact you, or how much you're going to actually see or know about what's really going on in the front lines, versus if you live in a secluded area or somewhere that really isn't impacted like us. We don't really see anything unless we watch the news. But either way, it's a lot to take in. It's a lot of people are having a hard time with anxiety right now and depression. I hope that everyone in this chat right now watching is part of our Facebook group. If you're not, you should be. It's called the Flippin Hippos Reseller Pod. Prior to this, I always touted it as one of the most positive groups of resellers out there, and it still is. It's a really great reselling group full of just amazing people who are very positive. But I have seen in the past month something even cooler happen in there, and I've seen people really pull together and support each other, and just post every day what's going on with their businesses, as well as just things to keep our minds off of it. It's the best reselling group. Not just because it's mine. It's because of you guys. It's not because it's my group. It's because of you guys that are in there. Just because the way everyone in that and my group has handled themselves has been as exemplary humans. And it's just a really great place to be right now, to reach out if you just need human contact, if you just want distraction, if you just want someone to talk to. And the reason I brought it up, and I hope you guys are all in there, because last night I uploaded a document into the group that came from a psychiatrist or a neuropsychologist from New York. The document actually says what their credentials are, but they gave a list of things that we should all be doing right now to enable ourselves to handle this and cope with it better, to avoid depression, to ease our anxieties, and to boost our mental health overall. So make sure you're in the group. Make sure you read that document. Go through it. It's pretty long, but even if you just skim it and get the general gist of what you need to know, such as going outside for fresh air and vitamin D every day, and limiting your news that you're watching, and reaching out through FaceTime and Facebook and texting, and just reaching out to people right now. But he has a whole list of things, and I really want you guys to all read it. I feel like it's super, super important. So yes, adult talk is wonderful. I think a lot of people are talking more to their animals than they ever have before. Some of you guys are having to be teachers right now. Just a lot of us are doing things that we've never really done before or had to do. So it's definitely it's different right now. Things are just different. Hey, Landshark Picker, I haven't seen you in a while. Welcome in. Yeah, it's the same but different. So I've been doing this for so long, and I was completely... in fact, I was talking to Keith last night. I used to put off leaving the house because I just didn't want to. So say I knew I needed something Monday, I would find a way to make do without whatever it was until Wednesday, which is typically when we go grocery shopping. And then I would hit all the little stores in the area and get what I needed. And now I'm like... I think if I knew I needed something and it wasn't the situation, I would just go out and get it. I don't know. It's kind of just... I don't know. Beth says, love our group, best group. Yeah, it is the best group. And I'm not saying that because it's my group. I'm saying that because of the people in it. Truly. Truly amazing. All right, guys. So let's talk about the new normal. And there's 2 points I want to talk about. So what we're all going... Oop, I just punched the table. Let me push it back a little. All right, so what we're all going through right now at current is our new normal. We are all adjusting. We are all learning how to traverse this new life as humans, parents, kids. You know, some of us can't see our parents. Some of us have kids at home we're teaching, like I said. We're all going through something different right now, just as humans. And then on top of that, we're resellers and we're small business owners. So we're having to learn how to readjust ourselves to run our businesses in a very uncertain, really weird time. No one knows what is going to happen. No one does. No one knows how long this is going to happen for. No one knows how long this current new normal is going to be until we go back to what used to be. But I don't think anything's ever going to be the same again, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But what we're going through right now, this is our new normal, and we have to find ways to adjust to this, to stay sane, keep our mental health, find a routine or a rhythm that works, and keep our small businesses alive, and continue reselling. And I'm going to say that I feel like by the time most of us grasp this new normal and find a way to cope with it and a way to make our businesses work, we're almost very, very likely to be suddenly faced with a new normal. Again, just the way it is. Fortunately, humans adapt really well. Humans are very good at adapting to different situations and different things in life, and just doing and being able to cope and manage and just take what we're given and make that our life right now, if that's what it has to be, until we have a new life or a new normal. But it takes a while sometimes to adapt. And so, like I said, this right now is our new normal. And then when everything is said and done, it's going to be a whole different other new normal. I don't think anything's ever going to be the way it was. I don't think we're ever going to go back to the way things were. And I think Casey said it really well. If you watch Casey, the Rockstar Flipper, he said it on his show last Thursday. You know, we're in here until April 30th. The staying home part. But on May 1st, this is what Casey said. He said on May 1st, it's not like a switch is just going to be flipped and we're all going to revert back to how we were in February. It's just not going to happen. There's not going to be some magical switch on May 1st that fixes the economy and fixes all of our emotions and our anxieties and our mental stuff that we've all had to go through. It's not just going to be like, boop, okay, it's back to like it was in February, because nothing will ever be the same again. Some of us, like me, will be very littly, not impacted that much except for economically. But you got to think that these nurses and these doctors on the front line, everything they've seen, everything they've gone through, they'll never be the same again. The cities that are being hit the hardest, they're never going to be the same again. And the economy is going to take a very long time to fix itself. It's going to be a very different world. So we've got to figure out what we're doing right now, and then we have to figure out what we're going to do later. But it's really hard to figure out and plan for a very unknown, uncertain future. We don't know nobody knows what's going to happen. All I can say is I really strongly feel it will never be the same again, and that is about all I can plan for. All I can get us and our business ready for is something different that we don't know what it's going to be. But we can take actions and take measures to kind of prepare for the worst and hope for the best. I don't know what's going to happen. And I think that's where a lot of people's anxiety is coming from. We don't know how long this is going to last. We don't know what's next. We don't know what's going to happen, how long this is going to go on for. It's just a lot, you guys. So just make sure you're in the group. Make sure you go through that list. Make sure you're taking care of yourself mentally. So Megan just joined. Hi, welcome in. And Anna's here. And Patsy. Ooh, and Robert's joining us. Hi, Robert, the zombie bargain hunter. He is another one of my mods with the blue wrench there, so say hi to him. All right, so right now, the new normal we're dealing with right now. What's the biggest struggle? We can't source anything, right? I did do a video with ideas on how to source without ever leaving your house. Hi, Teresa's pick. But for a lot of you guys, And it's not a bad thing, but for a lot of you, you don't know how. There's a ton of resellers that never sourced online, that always went to thrift stores, yard sales, estate sales, garage sales. And it's just not a tool or a task that you ever learned how to do. And now you're kind of being forced into doing it. But at the same time, every other reseller and their brother is also trying to source online, so you have a lot more competition. And the biggest example I can give you of that is the ThredUp boxes. Last I checked, and it could be different, I haven't checked in a couple of days, but they were completely out of denim boxes. They weren't doing the denim boxes anymore. And I have 2 sitting at the post office right now. We're going to pick up tomorrow. I ordered in the beginning of March. I've never seen them take that long to come to me. So there's that. ThredUp boxes, I don't even know if they're going to be a viable option anymore because so many resellers jumped on them. Hey, Mel and Deb and Mel, both. One or both. She Sells Resells is Mel and Deb, the dynamic duo. Whitley's Wares is here. Welcome in. So, we have to learn how to source online. And if it's something that you haven't done before, you're going to have to learn how. Period. Unless you just don't want to list for the indefinite future until we have things open again. Or if you're one of the fortunate few, and I say that if you're one of the fortunate few to have a death pile that I spent 2 years teaching you guys not to have. If you have one, you're lucky. But it's many of you that have been around for a while know that Keith and I had such a ginormous death pile that starting in September of last year, except for the time that we were in Florida visiting Casey, and we sourced in Florida. But other than that, from September until like late February of this year, we didn't source at all. All I did was list from our death piles for 5 months. And I got rid of every I don't want to pile and every death pile. And then we had just started going back to the thrifts and sourcing again at the end of February. So I was lucky enough that I had a small pile of things to work from. But I'm almost kicking myself in the butt right now for doing that. I mean, who knew though, right? Who knew? Hindsight is 2020. Whitley's Wares got a brand name handbag rescue box. Woo! Yeah, so there's other things on ThredUp. If the denim's not there, they do have other things you can buy on Facebook. Yeah, in that video, if you guys haven't seen it, when you have time, watch it. Where I talked about all the different ideas. But here's the thing, unless you've got a huge death pile, you're going to have to learn how to source online. You just are. And you're going to have to sometimes get over the thought that you're going to buy a whole bunch of stuff at once. And you're going to get wholesale. And you're going to get lots of stuff. Not lots as in a bunch, but lots as in like a lot, because sometimes that's not going to be available. And you're going to have to go what I like to call sniping. Where you go on eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, and you look for things that people are selling for far too little, and you buy them up, get them sent to your house, and then you turn around and resell them at the value they should be sold at. So you want to try to find wholesale in lots of things, and buy big buys, but if you can't find them, you may very well have to sit for 2-3 hours a day and go sniping. It's online arbitrage is the technical term, but I call it sniping. But you can go online and you can snipe for a couple hours and get a couple things one at a time. And that may be how you have to do it. Deb's here. Okay, so Pete's been looking for 99-cent auctions on eBay without other bidders. Yep, you can do that. That's a really good idea. You can search for things and sort them low to high. And you can also search for common typos. So if someone's spelling something incorrectly or it's a common typo, chances are it's going to be at a lower price because it's been around for a long time and that person maybe didn't notice they had a typo. Mercari is a really good place to go sniping on. Keith and I used to buy tons of Donald Trump ties on there and flip them for like 5-6 times as much. So Delilah's Vintage on ThreadUp, they have these things called rescue boxes, and you pick which rescue box you want. They'll have a denim rescue box. They'll have a shoe rescue box, a handbag rescue box. Sometimes they have mixed lots. And then it's just a mystery box from there. Whitley's Wears, if desperate times call for desperate measures, I will start to list my poop box items. I'm glad you brought that up. I do have a box of poop. And not literal poop, but just stuff that came from ThreadUp or buying wholesale that I had set aside. The box is upstairs, but it literally is written on it, poop. But if I get desperate, I'll dig out of there. And then, in addition to going through our death pile for that 5 months of time we weren't sourcing, we were going through our inventory, and we found a bunch of stuff that had fallen off that we were relisting. I still have a big pile over here of that. But we were also pulling stuff out of the store that was really old. So we're going to rephotograph that and put it back in. Just stuff that had been around for so long, never sold. And we think it's because the pictures were bad. Because I don't care who you are. When you started out, your pictures were bad. Mine were horrendous. But we also pulled stuff that we thought was poop that we never should have had in the store in the first place. And so we ended all those listings, and we've got like 5 boxes out in our foyer that were meant to go to Goodwill. And if I get seriously desperate just for the activity and to have listings in the store, or just even to get cash flow in, I'll go back through those too and list them. But I'm okay right now. I have a chair. You can't see it. I have a chair full of jeans over here, and then on this side of me I have 2 bins full of shirts and jackets we found that had fallen off of eBay that had been listed at some point. I have probably like 60 to 70 of the Plush left. Remember when I bought the 100 Plush big lot? I've only gone through maybe 30 or 40 of those. And then I also have 2 ThreadUp boxes at the post office that I have to pick up tomorrow. They were supposed to be here on the 9th, so we weren't expecting them, and we walked to the post office today just to get some fresh air. And they were there, and John just told us we could pick them up tomorrow. So I should be okay for a little while, and Keith has more remotes coming in. So, but if I have to, I will list poop. Absolutely. Because activity is important, listing every day is important. Cash flow is important. So if it was a poop item that I paid 99 cents for, but I can list it for 10 or 12 in a time when we need sales and cash flow coming in, you know? Rhonda and Amelia have been buying jewelry online. That's a good idea too if you like jewelry. You can come source at our house. Beth had no death pile. Sandals Tharrington says, hey, from Raleigh, North Carolina, new to your channel, newly retired, and had started reselling part-time just before this started shutting down. Yeah, it definitely is putting a kink in a lot of people's businesses, especially those of you that were just starting, or those of us that were full-time and really depending on this for our bills. Yeah, Rhonda and Amelia, that's a very good idea. So you guys should do that too. As I was just talking about, but we had already done it. Go through your inventory. Stuff falls off of eBay. There's these magic little gnomes that remove your items, and you'll find them all the time. Most expensive. We are not through all of the original 3,000 remotes that we purchased. We are very close. I think he's got maybe a couple weeks left, and then we're out, but he's got more on the way. And then all the sources that we had aren't open right now, so we'll see what happens. So yeah, thank you, Whitley's Wares. Yeah, you guys hit the thumbs up. It really helps the channel. So you guys are going to have to really learn to think out of the box, to source online. There's so many ideas. So many ideas out there. I will tell you that the wholesale business website that we run with Casey is booming. Tons of people are buying wholesale lots every single day. And people are selling. Because, okay, so while there's those of us, and I know I've talked about this a lot recently too, those of us are struggling to stay in business and keep alive. There are people now who need to take a step back and maybe get out of reselling or close down their small business because it just doesn't make sense for them to try to stay open and pay the store subscriptions and the fees because they have mouths to feed. There's a lot of situations where it just doesn't make sense, and that's a personal decision you have to make for yourself. Everyone's situation's different. If it doesn't make sense for you to try to struggle through this and stay in business, you can always get all your stuff together, lot it up, sell it off in wholesale, because many thousands of resellers right now are looking for inventory, so they will buy that from you. Or you can clearance it all out one by one on eBay. So we have a lot of lots coming in right now, and they're flying out the door just as fast as they can come in. We aren't purchasing any of them right now, and neither is Casey, so whatever comes in, we're putting on the site. We're not even cherry picking through it or taking any of it. We're just listing it every day, trying to get trying to get inventory in the hands of as many resellers as we can. It's liquidationlotsforless.com, and you can go there and see what we have. Or if you want to sell your stuff off, or you have lots you want to get rid of, liquidationlotsforless@gmail.com. Send us an email. Yes, so we're going to talk about money next, because Noman the Frog does have a very good point about saving money for to have cash or capital for when things start to open back up. Robert's lucky. He had a ton of plush when this happened. He's probably set for a while. I might go out there and shop from him. No, I'm kidding. Hey, No More Frog. So, yeah. That's also the other thing. Real quick before we get into money. Whitley's Wares reminded me. Clean out your own house. Clean out your closets, your basement, your attic. Find everything you guys don't wear, don't use, don't need, don't want, and list it. Get rid of it. If it's not, what does that lady on Netflix say? If it doesn't spark joy, get rid of it. Go through your old video games. We just did too, because everyone has just loads of video games or old movies or whatever that are just laying around that you're not interested in anymore. Get rid of them. If you have more than one video game console and you're only using one most of the time, sell the other one. Now's the time to really go through your house with different eyes and say, well, I haven't worn, I like this shirt, but I haven't worn it in a year. Why don't I sell it? I have this drawer full of jeans for if I ever lose weight and fit back in them, right, ladies? We all have that drawer of stuff. I'm going to lose weight and fit. No, get rid of them, sell them. Just clean out your house out. Just go through with different eyes. If it's something you're not wearing, something you're waiting to fit into, video games you're not playing, games, puzzles, get those listed. There's something else I wanted to say. Go through your old handbags, ladies. I know lots of us have tons of shoes and handbags that we maybe don't need anymore or don't wear, don't want. Go through your books. What are you not reading? Even quote-unquote poop books are selling right now because people are at home and they're bored. So you could make a lot. Say like you have a ton of Stephen King. We'll use him as an example. But if you have a ton of Stephen King books and he's really not your bag, or, I'm not going to reread these, lot them up. Sell a lot of Stephen King books. Sell a lot of mystery books. Sell a lot of kids' books. Just kind of go through your houses and clean everything out, and you can find a lot of inventory that way. And you're spring cleaning your house. Yay! The wholesale site should be in the description box, but it's Liquidation Lots for Less here, I'll put it in. I will put it in for you guys. Because there we go. Yeah, it's not what I said it was. Because I'm a liar. No, I don't mean to lie. That should be it for you guys. If it's not, let me know. You are welcome to bring a truck. I wish, Robert, but I'm not going across the country during a shelter in place. Yeah, in Virginia, Swimmerization says in Virginia they've asked people not to put the trash out. They've put something out here in Pittsburgh as well. There used to be a rule here that they would pick up anything. I know that there's places like your trash guys don't pick up certain things. Our guys were like, there used to be a rule here. You could literally put a couch at the curb or a chair or boxes, whatever, and they'll take it. And we've been asked if it doesn't fit in a bag to not place it out anymore. And if it's not in a bag, they're going to leave it because they're running on skeleton crews, you know? So, still holding on to a couple pairs of jeans. All women do. We all do. It's our positive high hopes for ourselves. Books are selling really well. Craft supplies, Absolutes. You know what's selling? I said Absolutes like a dork. You know what's really selling well right now? Material. So if you've got a pile of old fabric or material, get it listed. Everybody and their brother that knows how to sew right now is sewing masks to donate to the healthcare community. And to, I think out here, they are collecting masks to donate to the police department as well. And a lot of people are sewing these masks. So I know you've seen it all over Facebook. Excuse me. So if you have fabric, get it listed. Because everybody's looking for it. Craft supplies as well. Just people are like doing things they've never done before because they're bored. So jewelry making supplies, games, puzzles, books, crafts. If you have any like old postcards or Christmas cards or anything like that, you can tear off the part where the personal message was, and you can sell a lot of just the front of the card, the pictures. People use those for collages, for crafting. Yeah, our Megan Ivanos, did I say that right? Our postman, we still take our stuff to the post office each day. Very small post office. We're like the only ones in there anymore. He said the only people really keeping them alive right now is his eBay people. Is how he affectionately calls us and the other ones around here that sell. So no trash pickup. So yeah, get the craft stuff up. On the fabric listings, I would put fabric for crafts. I would not use the M word because eBay's bots right now are crawling hardcore to pull inappropriate listings, and you're not supposed to be selling masks on eBay, and they will pull you. And unfortunately, because they don't have a lot of people manpower to look through listings, they're using bots, and the bots are mistaking a lot of things and pulling them. Jamie Pace, a lot of you guys know Jamie Pace, the Thai guy, really good friend of mine. He said that he had a book on respiratory diseases. I think it was either respiratory diseases or the 1918 flu or something, and it got pulled because the bots hit it. So I wouldn't use the M word. I would just say fabric for crafting, DIY, and if for sewing projects. If there's any crafty people in the chat and you want to throw out some extra keywords to help each other out, I'm not that much of a crafty person, but I would just advise to stay away from that M word so you don't get your stuff pulled. Just be really careful right now because a lot of places are relying on bots, and bots aren't as smart as people. I've had a couple of my videos demonetized already, and I had to ask for a manual review and wait a while just because bots thought I was saying something in pertinence to what's going on in the world. So hey Marilyn, welcome in. Sewing machine, yes. Dave and Bill have a sewing machine up too, nice one, a Singer. So if you're in the market for a sewing machine, you guys can hook up with Bill and Dave. They got one in their store. Okay, so let's talk about, so we're still in the now, this new normal we're living in right now. We've all got to readjust our ways of thinking and where we're going to find inventory to source. We're still going to talk about money, but I forgot a couple points I wanted to make real quick. For those of you that have been against best offers, I think it's time to get over yourself. There's some tough love. Sometimes I just tell you guys things, and I'm not going to sugarcoat that. If you want to continue to have cash flow and you want to continue to stay in business, you're going to have to get over yourself and do some things that you've never done before. If you've never done best offers or sent out offers, you're going to have to start. period. People have gone from 2-income to 1-income homes. People have gone from 2 incomes to 2 people on unemployment. People are still shopping. But they're more likely or going to be more inclined to look for bargains and want something that they feel they got something out of it, or they got one over on. You know how people are. So if you have your best offers on, just raise your prices a little bit. But you're going to better your chances of selling stuff if you're willing to be more lenient, a little more creative, a little bit more experimental with how you do things. If you're one of those people who's like, I've been selling on eBay for 20 years and I've always done it this way, great, that's good for you. But guess what? 2020 is different. This is a new normal. The world is completely different, and anything you've done up until now that worked for you may not work anymore. And you may have to adjust yourself and try something new, because it doesn't matter what worked last year, 20 years ago. This is an unprecedented time. This is something that has never happened in our lifetimes. In fact, the last time was 1918, so I doubt that anyone alive right now saw the last time. This is brand new. It doesn't matter what you've been doing or how hard-headed you are, unless you want to go out of business. If you don't want to come out the other side, then by all means be hard-headed and stick with what you've always done. But if you're willing to try free shipping if you've never done it before, or charge shipping if you've always done free shipping, shake it up a little bit. Try best offers, send out offers. Be willing to sell stuff that you never would before. That's a big one. There's a lot of people out there who relied heavily on electronics or specific items that they got from specific places that are now closed, who up until now were holier than thou and too high and mighty to sell thrifted clothing. Well, guess what's going to be selling? Thrifted clothing is going to probably be a very good seller for the very near future, because people are not going to be able to afford to go out and buy new clothes at the store. Period. They're not open right now, first of all. Okay, so first of all, people are shopping online for clothing right now. But when the stores reopen and the economy is still kind of wobbly and people are trying to figure out how to make things work for their families and their budgets again, they're not going to run out to the mall and shop. They're going to be looking for used clothing. Those of you that sell used clothing are going to be okay, because that's what's going to sell. People have to wear clothing. It's not an essential item, but it is a necessity. People have to wear clothing. It's the law. You cannot go outside naked. You have to wear clothes, right? And again, like I said, stores aren't open now, but even when they do open up, people are going to be looking for a bargain. They're going to be looking for clothing. So just get over your own mindset and your own self and start to be willing to look at things differently. Try new things with your store. Try new items. And I cannot say this enough. Diversify. I have been preaching at you guys for 2 whole years. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Diversify yourselves. Get different types of items and get on all these different platforms. And if you didn't listen to me before, please listen to me now, because now it is more important than ever. That you have your items in front of as many eyeballs as you can to give yourself the opportunity to sell your stuff. You can't just be on eBay. You can't just be on Poshmark. You can't just be on Mercari. Y'all got to be everywhere. We're on Grailed now, and we're on Amazon. We're like everywhere. And I'm looking at Depop. I mean, you got to adjust to the way the world is right now. And like I said, this is really an unprecedented time. And it's so super important that instead of being stuck in your own ways, your old ways, just to look at it and be like, the world is different. This is what I got to do. Unless you don't want to have a business, then do whatever you want. I'm going to look at the chat real quick. Michelle, yeah, you can sell your ThredUp shoebox as is. It's probably going to be pretty expensive for shipping. Just make sure you double check that, like your options. UPS and FedEx are still running too. We've all gained weight. Ain't that the truth? So if you want to list lots of plush, it is probably better to do in groups, at least as the plushie queen who loves to sell plush. I do buy wholesale lots of plush all the time. I think Robert doesn't care. Robert, answer for yourself. But I'm pretty sure Robert doesn't care. He'll buy whatever, a mixed lot. But I'm more attracted to, these are all Wild Republic animals, or these are all Disney. But at the end of the day, really just sell it however it'll sell and get some money coming in. Right, so Smart and Savvy Gal said she's now selling hard goods from her own basement. You gotta do what you gotta do. Ron my mom just heard what you said. She said you can't go around naked like a Build-A-Bear. Oh, it's so funny because I always tell you guys, strip them naked. Yeah, Pete, exactly. You gotta test it out and see what works, but shake things up for sure. Because when you start to shake things up and do things differently, you're still giving your store activity. And that's super duper important right now. Cassini loves activity. Trying to try List Perfectly? Yeah, if you want to list stuff really, really fast, you want to use List Perfectly. It does cost a little bit of money, but if you sell 2 or 3 items on other platforms a month, 2 or 3 more items a month will pay for List Perfectly. You're going to sell more than 2 or 3 items if you're listing everywhere. I have a link in the box down below for you to use if you want to sign up for List Perfectly. It helps us out a little bit. It's an affiliate link. I have to tell you that by law. But yeah, it'll help me and Keith out a little bit, and it'll get you signed up for List Perfectly. You can list in bulk, and I have a video about that if you look for it. Yeah, we're going for walks every night. We've been walking like a mile and a half every night. We're going to up it a little bit at a time. I don't think the thrift stores are going to raise prices because they're going to be overstocked. They're going to have so much crap. People are donating like crazy right now. They're going to be donating afterwards because think, everybody's cleaning out their house. Everybody's cleaning out their closet. If you're one of us, you're selling your stuff. If you're not a reseller, you're just saving it up to donate. They're going to have so much stuff. They're just going to want to be rid of it, I think. I would not consider taking lowball offers. That is the one thing I would absolutely advise you not to do, Marilyn. This is not the time to panic sell. This is not the time to race to the bottom. And this is not the time to take lowball offers. Absolutely not. I did a whole video about that too. It's okay to take less than you normally would, a little bit, but don't take lowballs. By no means do that. People are giving away clothes and plush on Marketplace. Yes, that's absolutely right, Lee. People can check that. Yeah, if you have cheaper type clothes or kids clothes, you can lot them up. Don't forget that we have a wholesale site you can sell through as well. So Shirley's World Vlog says, hi, Star, I usually watch and just bought about a dozen plush and sold my first 2 beanies. Yay, that's awesome. Plush are fun. Clean out my closet today. Yep, list. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about money. So, how hindsight's 20/20 and we all wish we had a death, like those of us that thought we were cool because we didn't have death piles. It's like, hindsight's 20/20. And I actually always had a death pile on purpose going into the winter because we live in Pittsburgh. So we would spend from spring through fall over thrifting at the thrift stores and the yard sales and all of that, and build up a huge pile that we would work through in the winter because it's cold here and it snows and nobody wants to go anywhere. But who knew this was going to happen in the middle of the summer? Who knew we were all going to get stuck in our houses with no way to thrift? But the same thing goes for a lot of the other things I've been telling you guys for years. One of the big ones is to save money and save capital, right? So you need to save money now if you can, because when things open back up, cash is going to be king. We just talked about if I thought the thrift stores were going to raise their prices. I don't think so. I think they're going to have so much inventory, they're going to be begging you to take it off their hands. If thrift yard sales happen this year, we don't know. There's a very real possibility that we all must accept that they might not happen. But if they do, all these people that have been cleaning out their houses, they're going to have tons of stuff. They're going to be selling off their toilet paper for 5 cents. No. They're going to be selling off all that toilet paper they hoarded. But when we come out of this, you're going to want to have some money to spend because there's going to be a ton of stuff out there available for you to purchase. You need to get stuff now, but if at all possible, set some aside. And this is what I talked about in my video. Profits versus cash flow. You need to keep the cash flow coming in, but you still need to make profits, which is why it's okay to take offers lower than you normally would, but don't rush to the bottom. Don't take those low ball offers because you're not leaving yourself enough room for your overhead. You still have to pay for everything. You still have to source. You still have to, have money to live on. You want to have some to save. So, Junking Data Girl, I haven't seen you in a long time. Wow, welcome in. How about bringing a truck to Columbus? Going on 4 weeks, no toilet paper. Yeah, it's been a little bit longer than that. Here, I think. I don't know. I don't have any track of time right now. The VA is closed till June 10th. So, yeah, I don't know if we're going to have yard sales or not, which is kind of a bummer. I was really looking forward to them. But lots of places are going to be opening back up eventually. And you're going to want to have money. You're going to want to be able to go to the thrift stores, the estate sales, the garage sales, the yard sales, whenever everything's back. And just get all the stuff that people are trying to get rid of at that point. There will also be people who need money quick to pay their bills, so they'll be selling their stuff off on local websites like Facebook and Craigslist. Why was that? How could I think of Craigslist? OfferUp, Lego, all those places. So just, you want to keep money coming in, but you want to still make enough that you can buy more inventory and you can save aside for when we come out the other side of this. And again, I'd like to stress, for those of you that don't really like doing used clothing, it's probably the thing you want to be doing right now. People can only buy clothes early online. There are Walmarts I've seen pictures of in different states where they are now roping off the non-essential areas and not allowing people to shop in there. So they have to come online for their stuff. Used clothing is much more affordable. If we all start to come out of this in the summertime, people are still going to want their summer clothing. Then you got school. Back to school in the fall, we hope. I heard a weird noise, but it's my hamster running on the wheel. Sorry. What is that? And used clothing is more affordable. It just is. So people are going to be online looking for that. Because it is a need. Again, you cannot just strip yourself down like a Build-A-Bear and go outside. So I think I've covered everything I want to say. Do you guys have any questions for me about anything at all? It can be about anything at all. It doesn't have to be about this video, but ask me anything. Ask me anything at all. And just remember, everything that I've been teaching you for 2 years, now is the time to do it. Because if you didn't before, you're kicking yourself, right? And I know a lot of times I tell you guys, do as I say, not as I do. Because I'm not always that great at following my own advice either. So, I need to make some t-shirts. Well, that's been on my to-do list for quite some time, but I never get around to it. I don't know if I'm going to right now. Even my jeans guide that I was working on is put on hold. Let's just say my jeans guide may probably not come out until the fall. Just because there's just so much other stuff that needs my attention and my time right now to make sure that we keep our business afloat and stay okay. Hi Star, I find you really inspiring. Thank you for being a voice of reason in the I'm a voice of reason. A voice of reason in the selling world. Thank you so much, Kimberly. That's very sweet of you. Thank you. Booty shorts always sell. Yeah, and do your I don't wannas and what is this? What is happening? Is this our big exam? Thank you, TG. That's great review to say. What is happening? Okay, I'm gonna ignore it. Thank you, TG. One of the things that I've been telling you guys for 2 whole years, and you should be doing it now if you never did, because now is the most important time of all. You need a routine and you need a schedule and you need a to-do list and you need a bullet journal, because if you don't keep yourself on task or on some kind of a routine or a schedule during a time like this, it's very, very easy to fall into those bad habits of watching Netflix all day on the couch while eating too much of your food that you have stocked away. Or just loafing around listening to podcasts, playing too many video games, and just basically not getting done what you need to do. But it also feeds into the depression and anxiety that a lot of people feel. You need to stay on a very good... I need a t-shirt with a hippo and a piece of poop. Robert just found 2 bags of free Plush. That's awesome. Make sure you wash them. I haven't done any live sales because I don't really sell. I don't really sell my stuff on, you know what I mean? Like, live sales are what some people do to sell their inventory, but I don't really do that. Like, if you ever see something in a haul video and you like it, absolutely message me and I'll give you, like, a good deal. Like 20-25% below what I would have sold it on eBay, just for being a viewer. So if you ever see anything in a haul video that you like, or even in my store, if you see something in the store or whatever, just message me. But I don't sell on live. So, back to, so I've been telling y'all for over 2 years to do routines, to-do lists, and schedules. And if you're not doing them now is the time to get your, I'm going to tell you guys to get your ass in gear. Get it in gear. Get a list. Stay on schedule. Get a good routine. Make sure you're working every single day. This situation that we're going through right now should not be affecting you to the point where you are avoiding, abandoning, not working on your business, or just letting everything fall apart. This is not an excuse for us all to let our lives fall apart, to get fat, to not work, and to just lay around our houses and watch news and become overly stressed and anxious while we eat even more. So make sure that you are doing your routines and you're working every single day. This is still your job. You still have to get up and show up to your job every day and put in your 8 hours, your 12 hours, whatever, every single day, okay? This stay-at-home thing is not an excuse for everybody to loaf around and just do whatever the heck you want. You still have a business, and if you want to continue to have the business after all this is done, you need to work it like you always have. And go for walks, get your exercise. Don't eat just because you're bored. Don't watch too much news and get yourself all anxious. Try to stay as close to your sleep schedule as you can. See, that's the thing. If what Swimmerization just said, this should be the time for us to take advantage and get more work done than ever before and be so super duper organized and have our houses all clean and organized and all that stuff listed. All of our inventory should be gone through and organized, and we should have clean eBay rooms, and everything should be just we should be doing more. We should be taking advantage of this time because we're not sourcing, we're not thrifting. You should be taking this time to do all the things you said that you would never do. You can wash plush in a washing machine. Just air dry it. I would not put it in the dryer. And that's the thing. You got to stop thinking about the uncertainty. You just got to get up in the morning and be like, oh, hey, this is my job. This is my full-time job. I'm a reseller. I've been doing this since before the situation, and I'm going to do it through the situation, and I'm going to do it after the situation. Just don't think about the stress and the anxiety. Just get up, stick to your routine. This is why routines are so important, because they keep you going even when you don't want to. And I've told you guys that before. I told you that a year ago. I told you that 2 years ago. The reason routines are important is because they keep you getting up every day and doing the same things every day that make you a successful human being, a successful business, even when you don't want to do them. You do them over and over and over. You just keep doing them. This situation, I mean, back in 1918, they probably said it would never happen again either. Yeah, at least learn another platform, go through your inventory, source for something different or new. But make sure you're doing your job, your work every day. Yeah, I've never really had a great sleep schedule, so I'm just doing what I do. But if you had a good one and you've let it go to pot because of this situation, don't do that. It's been fun sniping options like it was 2008. It's never too much. You guys should be working. This is the time to work harder than you ever were. Remember how I told you guys before? You will always work harder for yourself than you ever will for anyone else. If you want your business to survive this, you're going to have to work hard. Period. Hugs are important. Got to hug your plush, your pets, your kids, whoever you're stuck with in your house. Hug them every day, even your animals. Hey, Swamp Picker, welcome in. Yeah, Donna, hey, welcome in, by the way. Doesn't read the news until the work is done. If Fall of 2020 was closed down, I still would not catch up. Junkie Data Girl scored an estate clean out. Yes, awesome. Sharing my Posh Closet when I was having... Wow. Okay, well, I hope you're okay now. Sounds like something I would do, though. I could be dying, and I'd be like, wait a minute, I got off first. All right, guys. If you don't have any more questions, scores galore. I'm glad I came in here. If you don't have any more questions, I'm going to let you go. It is dusk here. The sun is going to be down soon. And Keith and I got our mile to walk yet tonight. And I want to go for my walk because we've been really good about going outside and getting the air, getting the exercise. You guys do it too? Okay? Make sure you hit the thumbs up before you leave. It really helps our channel out a lot. And we need all the help we can get right now. So support the channel, hit the thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, please do so and help us feed all our hungry hippos. If you're not in the Facebook group, you should be. Flippin' Hippos Reseller Pod. Link is down below. You can find a lot of links down below that you may need. And if you need anything at all, you can always tag me in the Facebook group. I'm really quick to answer in there. You can also find me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Flippin' Hippos on all social media. And email me at flippinhipposhelp@gmail.com. All right, guys. Until next time, go be productive. Go do something with this time we've been given. Don't think of it as being stuck in your house. Think of it as being safe in your home and time that you have been gifted to do something with, productive with your business. So go be productive. Go make that money. Make sure you wash your damn hands. Stay inside, guys, where it's safe. Flatten the curve. And I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching today. I appreciate you guys. You guys are the best. Bye.